Hello and welcome to the Exactly Incent End User Training for AAA Club Alliance. You'll be receiving your login email letting you know that you can access the Incent application upon completion of this recorded webinar. The data that will be in Incent when you go to log in is going to be year-to-date through August. Future orders are going to be uploaded into the system dependent upon metrics, either daily or weekly. There will be a follow-up to this recorded webinar in numerous huddles held with details forthcoming. If you have any questions regarding your data, please send an email to exactlyadmin@AAAmidatlantic.com. The first email that you'll receive letting you know that you can log in to the application is going to look similar to this one. You'll see the username generated for you within Incent, and then below that you'll see a link where you'll be prompted to set your password. This URL is a one-time use only link, so after you select this link, you will be prompted to enter a new password. Keep in mind that if for some reason you get distracted and you don't complete this process, you'll need to send a message to your administrator. Once you click on the link, you'll create a new password using your company's current requirements. Generally, the password needs to be between 8 and 20 characters long. It cannot contain any part of the username, and then it also needs to contain an uppercase letter, lowercase letter, as well as a number. Once you create and confirm your new password, clicking Save Password, you'll be automatically logged into the application. Our current supported browsers are the most recent versions of Firefox, Internet Explorer 11, and Chrome. Subsequent times that you need to log in, go to exactlycorp.com, click on Customer Login, enter your username and that newly created password, and click Login. Now from here, we're going to transition to a live demo of the application. As we go through this demonstration, keep in mind that the data was set up with the express intent of showing you a high-level functionality of the system from the perspective of one user on one specific plan. Rest assured, when you log in, you'll see your own data as it ties to your comp plan. Each time you log into Incent, you'll be taken to something that looks similar to this. We call this our Sales Pod dashboard. It's from this dashboard that you're able to navigate to many different areas of interest within Incent. The first area we're going to explore is the main static page within Incent up at the top in white. In the upper left corner, you'll see our branding. In the upper right corner, you'll see a welcome training banner. This, of course, will reflect your name when you go to log in. Some options you might be interested in here are to edit your profile picture, change your preferences. You may change the date format, number format, time zone, and language. If you make any changes here, be sure to click Save. You can also access Exactly's Global Help Center by clicking on Help. You can enter in a search term or click on Getting Started for Incent Users to learn everything you ever wanted to know about Incent. Because it opens in a separate tab, just click on the X. If you need to log out, again click on the Welcome Training banner and select Log Out. To the right of the Welcome Training banner, you'll see a little envelope icon. This is part of Incent's internal messaging system, and this is not something that you're using at this time. You'll continue to use your corporate email process and send any messages or questions to exactlyadmin@AAAmidatlantic.com. To the right of the envelope icon, you'll see a little down arrow. This is our download indicator. Kind of depends on the size of the file you're trying to download from within Incent. If it's a large amount of information, it might go here. If it's a smaller amount, it may just go to the bottom of your screen. Now, each of these rectangular sections that we can see here on the dashboard are called pods. But before we dive into the details of the pods, we're first going to take a look at where the pods are getting their information. And that's from the My Incentives tab in the upper left corner. Once you click on the My Incentives tab, you can see your incentive statement. In the upper left corner, you'll see the title, then you'll see a yearly selector. In the upper right corner, you'll have the option to download all of this information as an Excel document or as a PDF. The incentive statement itself is split up into two principal components. The first component is the summary component. Our fictitious user for the day is Training Rep. Of course, again, this will reflect your name. We can see the manager, the company, and the title. Below the personal training banner, we can also see these great visual dials displaying your quota or goal attainment. These are visual gauges to help you figure out where you are in the current period on your percent to goal. You'll see membership, credit card, and so forth. Any goal that applies to your plan will be shown here. Speaking of goals, there's a bit of a terminology shift as we get into Incent. Let's take a closer look in the full report section. Now, the full report section is split up by both category and time period. Our fictitious rep has correct data loaded into January, so that's going to be our focus. The first category in this full report section is quotas. Quotas are your goals. Each line in each of the categories will have an associated unit type in parentheses. In the quotas category specifically, you'll need to disregard the bold quota percentage line, as this will always show 100%. This is part of a back-end calculation required to make your dials and calculations work correctly. What you'll want to pay close attention to are the lines with quantities as the unit type. If we look at the membership quota quantity line, we can see 28 because that was the quota set by the manager, but our fictitious rep sold 33 memberships. We can see this in the line directly below labeled quota credit. It's shown as a quantity. Since 33 was more than their goal of 28, the membership VTG percentage line shows 17.86 because 17.86 is the percentage ahead of goal, which we can also see in the dial above under membership VTG. Still looking at January 2018, if we look at credit card quota quantity in bold, we see 6. Again, this was the goal provided by the manager, and the line directly below credit card quota credit shows 0 because our fictitious person activated 0 credit cards. On the percent line, we see negative 100 because they didn't meet or exceed their goal. We can see the same formulas play out in the other quotas. Scrolling down, you'll see a credits category. These are your actuals. Any credit or actual that applies to your plan will be shown here. And then the final two categories are commissions and payments. Commissions are your payouts. You'll see a retail commission line plus any additional payout you might earn. Then you'll see a culmination of the payouts reflected in payments. Essentially, just add up retail commission plus any additional payouts, and you'll get to the total pending value shown in the payments category. It's important to note that the incentive statement is real-time data, and all of the values in these months are subject to change until the Friday before the pay period. Your administrators are providing this real-time information in an effort to increase transparency, but it's important to understand that until you see the value in the payments section on a new line labeled Total Released, that period hasn't finalized and may still change. For our fictitious user, no periods have finalized, so we only see a total pending value, which means no spending, and is still subject to change. You may also be able to expand or collapse quarters if there are quarters enabled for you. Our fictitious user only has the months. While you may have noticed some underlined values indicating hyperlinks, these are just back-end calculations and it won't provide you with additional details. If you have any questions about the totals that you see in this full report section, please remember to send an email to exactlyadmin@AAAmidatlantic.com. Now we're going to go back and take a look at the dashboard and dive into the details of the pods. Each of the pods share some similar features. You'll always see the title in the upper left corner, and then you'll see a drop-down menu. The options can vary here depending on the pod you're viewing, but you always have access to pod help. So if you have a question, be sure to click here first. In the case of the messages pod, you'll see the message title in a gray box. Here, they're saying welcome to Exactly and reminding you that if you have any questions or need assistance, send a message to exactlyadmin@AAAmidatlantic.com. You can also click on the message title to view the full message in a pop-up. The next pod is called Current Plan Information. This is one of our pods that displays a period in the pod itself. Here you can see an abbreviated version of your current plan. You'll see your name, your manager's name, your position, title, and plan. Current year credits by type is up next. This is showing you all of your credits or actuals for the year 2018. You'll see them in this great donut graph. You can hover your mouse over any bar or graph or dial within Incent and generally see additional information. You'll see all of your credits or actuals listed out on the right-hand side of the pod. Current year credits by period is up next. Now this pod isn't showing anything because it's set to USD. To change the unit type in any of the pods, click on the cog, select the unit type, and then click Save. Now you'll see your credits or actuals broken out by period as a quantity. The drop-down menu in this pod is especially useful to switch over to commissions. Now you'll see each of your commissions or payouts broken out by month, and then you'll also see a year-to-date value in the upper right corner. You can also toggle to payments to view your payments broken out by month, as well as that same year-to-date value. For those of you who are managers, let's go and take a look at what this looks like from your perspective. Now you have that same great dashboard showing you all of your pods. You still have a My Incentives tab showing your incentive statement. But what sets the manager view apart from that of an associate or a rep is the addition of the third tab in the upper left corner called the My Team tab. You'll see that the subreport is called Team Incentive Statements. So that's your first indication that you can now view someone else's report. And specifically, you're viewing anyone who reports to you within the hierarchy set up in Incent. You can find your direct and indirect reports one of three different ways. You may search for them by name. Just start typing in any portion of their name and the system will forward search. You can also take a look under the My Team section, and here you'll find all of your direct reports. You can click on their name. And then finally, you can view the organizational hierarchy by expanding out your tree and clicking on the name. Now in the right-hand side of the window, you'll see that same incentive statement, just as we saw when I was logged in directly as the training rep. The personal training banner becomes kind of important here. You'll want to make sure that the person to whom you're speaking matches up with the incentive statement you're viewing. Now, the visibility into your team's incentive statements can be really handy if you need to have a one-on-one or a coaching session with one of your associates. Up until this point, the store manager needed to give the associate this information, but now each of you will use your own login credentials and have access to the same incentive statement in real time. There's no longer a need to wait. You can scroll down and view the full report together, including quotas or goals, credits or actuals, commissions or payouts, and finally payments. Coming back to the Home tab, this does end the Incent demonstration. Remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to send an email to exactlyadmin@AAAmidatlantic.com. Thank you for your time. Take care.